Donald Trump is now saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene is no longer MAGA. He says he doesn't know what happened to her. He says that she's doing some sort of act to pretend that she doesn't like him and MAGA anymore. And he says that she's completely out of control. Marjorie Taylor Greene responds that she is MAGA, and she says that she's really American first. And basically people are now pretending to be MAGA and are not doing America first policies, which is why she's been critical of Donald Trump. Let me show you what's been going down. So yesterday during a press conference, Donald Trump said, "I don't know what's happened to her. She's lost her way." Here, play this clip.
Earlier today, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is a big ally of yours, said that she would rather see you focused on nonstop domestic policy meetings here at the White House instead of nonstop foreign policy meetings. What's your response to her saying that, and also saying that grocery prices are up and not down, as you've said?
Yeah, so I don't know what happened to Marjorie. She's a nice woman, but I don't know what happened. She's lost her way, I think. But I have to view the presidency as a worldwide situation, not locally. I mean, we could have a world that's on fire where wars come to our shores very easily if you had a bad president. We had a horrible president, and we ended up with Russia, Ukraine.
Then Donald Trump says that Marjorie Taylor Greene has some sort of act going on, and she's catering to the Democrats. She's catering to the other side, he says. Here, play this clip.
But with all of that, I passed a great, big, beautiful bill, which is the biggest tax cuts in the history of our country. So when somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's now catering to the other side, I don't know what, I guess she's, got some kind of an act going, but I'm surprised at her. But when somebody like Marjorie goes over and starts making statements like that, it shows she doesn't know.
Then later in the evening, where he gave an interview to Laura Ingraham on Fox, Donald Trump says, "I'm not listening to what people like Marjorie Taylor Greene or others say what MAGA is." He says, "I created MAGA. I come up with the rules about what MAGA is. And when I say that MAGA stands for prioritizing Chinese students to attend American universities, that now becomes MAGA because that's what I stand for, and that is therefore America first," Donald Trump says. Here, play this clip.
And don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better than anybody else. And MAGA wants to see our country thrive.
And just so you can actually see that that's what he said about Chinese students need to be prioritized because that's really what MAGA and America first means. Here he is saying that in that interview. Let me just show you this clip. Let's play it.
A lot of MAGA folks are not thrilled about this idea of hundreds of thousands of foreign students in the United States. We have about 350,000 Chinese. One point during COVID, you were going to, push to, get them out, but that was pulled back. You've said as many as 600,000 Chinese students could come to the United States. Why, sir, is that a pro-MAGA position when so many American kids want to go to school and there are places not for them, and these universities are getting rich off Chinese money?
Sure. Never said about China, but we do have a lot of people coming in from China. We always have, China and other countries. We also have a massive system of colleges and universities. And if we were to cut that in half, which perhaps makes some people happy, you would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business.
So what?
Well, I think that's a big deal.
Are they fans
you would have the
of the United States?
Yeah, but you would have, as you know, historically black colleges and universities would all be out of business. You would have a system of colleges and universities would go down the tubes.
So we're dependent on China to keep our university system going?
But I think it's good to have, I actually think it's good to have outside countries. Look, I want to be able to get along with the world.
They're not the French. They're the Chinese. They spy on us. They steal our intellectual property.
Well, do you think the French are better?
Yeah.
I mean, really? I don't know. I'll tell you.
Now, yesterday, Marjorie Taylor Greene was making her rounds and doing interviews. She went on the Megyn Kelly podcast, and she said, as it relates to Epstein, that the fact that it's been blocked over and over again is really starting to indicate some deep, deep problems within the Trump regime and the Republican Party covering up this pedophile ring. Here, play this clip.
If you tune in to CNN or MSNBC any day right now, they think the whole government shutdown on the Republican side is because they don't want to do any work because they don't want to have any votes on Epstein.
Right.
What do you think?
I tell you what, I've started to question, is this why we're not in session?
Really?
Yeah. This is that the discharge petition is sitting there.
Explain that.
So everyone for how many years now? All of us have been calling to release the Epstein files. And Thomas Massey entered a resolution to release it. Yeah. And I'm a co-sponsor. I want to release the Epstein files. And it's been blocked over and over, unfortunately. And so there's a discharge petition. So just so you know, as a member of Congress, I cannot force my bills to the floor for a vote. Only the Speaker can decide to bring a bill to the floor for a vote. And so when the Speaker is refusing to bring a bill forward, if 218 members of Congress get together and all sign a discharge petition and we put our name on there, it overrides the Speaker and it's forced to the floor for a vote. So right now there's 217 signatures. And there is one.
Mostly Dems.
Yeah, mostly Dems. There's only 4 Republicans, Thomas Massey, myself, Nancy Mace, and Lauren Boebert. We're the only Republicans on the discharge petition.
As it relates to Donald Trump's statement that Marjorie Taylor Greene lost her way, she told Caitlin Collins of CNN that I haven't lost my way. I'm 100% America first and America first only, also implying that Donald Trump's no longer America first. Marjorie Taylor Greene has also been incredibly critical of Donald Trump denying that things are not affordable, or that Donald Trump denying that things are not affordable now. Trump keeps saying everything's affordable and cheap. Marjorie Taylor Greene's been making her rounds like she went on Tucker Carlson, and here's what she said.
Food prices are high, rent is high, home prices are ridiculously high, cars are high, auto insurance, home insurance, health insurance is insane. Energy prices are high. I can tell you that in my own electric bills. They're much more expensive than they were even a year ago.
And on another podcast, Marjorie Taylor Greene said prices have not come down at all. Like, if anything, they're higher right now. And she says the job market's bad. Health insurance premiums are going up. Rent is going up. She's like, everything's going up right now. Play this clip.
Prices have not come down at all.
The job market is weakening.
Job market is still extremely difficult.
Right.
Wages have not gone up. Health insurance premiums are going to go up. Car insurance goes up every year. People's homeowners insurance goes up. Rent is going up. Young people have no hope of buying a home. And then when they try to buy a home, they end up, like I said, they end up competing with like Blackstone.
But in contrast to that, Donald Trump says that Marjorie Taylor Greene is lying, and that I guess all Americans who can't afford things are also lying. And he says that anyone who claims that people care about the economy or that they're anxious about the economy, Donald Trump says, I don't know that they're saying that. I think the polls are rigged. I think the polls are all fake. He says that it's all fake news. Here, play this clip of him saying that.
We're down on energy. We're down on interest rate. You know, interest rates are down despite the Fed. Now, if we had a normal person at the Fed would have really low interest rates, and we will soon have that. We'll have somebody that's...
Then why are people saying they're anxious about the economy? Why are they saying that?
I don't know that they are saying. I think polls are fake. We have the greatest economy we've ever had. We will have over $20 trillion come into our economy, and it's largely because of my election, but it's also largely because of tariffs.
Hey everybody, Ben Meiselas here from the MeidasTouch Network. I wanted to let you know about my podcast partner, Michael Popak's new law firm. It's called the Popak Firm. Michael Popak's pursuing his dream of starting his own law firm, really based on the popular demand by all the Meidas Mighty and legal AFers who were approaching Michael Popak with their cases and saying, can you help us? And at that time, Popak was not able to. So he went out on his own. He started the Popak Firm, where he is now handling catastrophic injury cases like car accident cases, trucking cases, malpractice cases, big negligence cases, wrongful death cases. So if you or someone you know have a case like this, the consultation with Popak's firm is free. Give him a call. See if you have a case. It's thepopakfirm.com, thepopakfirm.com, or you can call 877-POPOK-AF, P-O-P-O-K-A-F. So 1-877-POPOK-AF. Give Michael Popak a call. And I'm really proud of you, Popak. Thanks for all the hard work you're putting in. Marjorie Taylor Greene then said that it was the worst political move that MAGA Mike Johnson told the MAGA Republicans in the House not to show up and not to work and stay on vacation while the shutdown was taking place. Let's play this clip.
So I think it's absolutely the worst move, and it's the worst political move to have the House in recess and for us to not be here working.
Do you believe right now, as we talk about, the situation that's taking place here with the shutdown, do you believe that Republicans as a party right now are unified? Are Republicans fractured? Somewhere in between? What are your thoughts?
Well, it seems like Republicans in Washington, D.C. may be unified, but I don't think they are across the country. I think there's a lot of disenfranchised 2024 voters. And I think that was clearly obvious in Tuesday's election. Now, there's pushback against me saying, well, we knew Virginia and New Jersey and New York would go Democrat. And of course, that's true. I said the same thing, but I'm from Georgia, and we lost 2 statewide public service commission seats, and we lost them heavily. Democrats won those seats at 60%. Republicans only got 40%. There's other races in Pennsylvania and Mississippi proving the same thing, that voters are not happy. But really, I'll push everyone to pay attention to the true financial hardship that Americans are facing right now. And this is very much affecting my children's generation, who are 22, 26, and 28. And that generation is looking towards the future with very little hope. And so for me personally, I ran for Congress in 2020, criticizing Democrats and Republicans almost equally, that Congress and Washington, D.C. always fails the American people. And I think the alarms are blaring right now.
And here Marjorie Taylor Greene is asked, well, do you believe that now that the shutdown is going to come to an end, or if the shutdown comes to an end, that there'll be a healthcare plan out there? And she goes, no, I haven't seen any plan at all. Here, play this clip.
Build consensus among your members, and that hasn't happened yet.
He told us when we had him on the show a few weeks ago that if the government reopened tomorrow, and this was 2 weeks ago probably, that Republicans would have a healthcare plan. Do you believe that?
No, because I haven't seen it yet.
Now, MAGA Mike Johnson, though, still says that he has until December. He says that he's working on things. They're working on concepts of ideas right now, is what MAGA Mike's saying. Here, play this clip.
Well, is the Republican idea or solution going to go into effect at midnight on December 31st? Because people are going to get sticker shock on this insurance. I mean, this is really sort of an urgent matter for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's an urgent matter for us, and it has been, which is why we put it into the bill that we passed in the early summer, and the Democrats fought to take it out. So we're reintroducing some of these ideas. There's a lot of ideas on how to drive the cost down, and we have November and December to work on that. We're going to have to get a bipartisan consensus on some of this, and so we'll be presenting our ideas and putting them on the table. The Democrats, this is very important to point out, they don't have any reform ideas at all. Their argument is they want a completely unreformed continuation. They would do it permanently, most of them, on government just subsidizing the insurance companies. And that is not the solution. And we're going to be educating the population and along the way as we do this and come up with reforms that will actually solve the problem and not make it worse.
And then you also have a lot of other MAGA Republican senators saying, well, if Marjorie Taylor Greene feels so strongly, let's see her write some legislation about it. Here, play this clip.
The other part of this, though, is what is going to happen with these subsidies, because the thing that Republicans have argued is if Democrats would reopen the government, then you can have the conversation about what to do on that. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying that Republicans don't have a plan on how to bring down healthcare costs. If the government reopened tomorrow, do you think Republican leaders have a plan on that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say to Marjorie Taylor Greene, I like her. She came out to Ohio a few times. She's certainly able to write a bill herself. Like, if this is something she's passionate about, put pen to paper, write a bill, present an option. Don't just criticize what other people are doing. In terms of what Republicans think, is that the marketplace should work. What Obamacare has proven is that it's a total abject failure at keeping costs affordable, ironically, in the name.
And here's also MAGA Mike talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Here, let's play this clip.
So let's get back to those subsidies for Obamacare. He mentioned Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Republican. There are other Republicans who are raising alarm. Here's what she said in part on X. I'm absolutely disgusted that health insurance premiums will double if the tax credits expire this year. Not a single Republican in leadership talked to us about this or has given us a plan to help Americans deal with their health insurance premiums. She says, again, doubling. So what is the guidance from you, the leader of this party?
Yeah, I had a thoughtful conversation with my friend Marjorie Taylor Greene on the phone the other night, a couple nights ago, to inform her that there are many Republicans in Congress that have been working around the clock on this. They're on the committees of jurisdiction that deal with this. Marjorie doesn't serve on those committees, so I offered to have her come into the room and be a part of that discussion if indeed she wants to do that. There has been a lot of work done on this. We have hundreds of ideas literally on the table to fix healthcare, to make it more affordable for the American people, to make access more available, and to increase the quality of care. There's a lot that can be done, but you have to build consensus in a large, deliberative public body like this. And again, what they're saying right now, the reason they're talking about healthcare is because they're trying to create a distraction. We have voted 8 times to pay the troops, pay TSA agents, Border Patrol agents, everybody serving in the federal government, and to make sure these services are provided for veterans and the elderly disabled who need them so much. 8 times now, Democrats in Congress have voted to close the government. We're on day 10. It's real pain for real people, and they seem not to care.
Now, I also want to remind you, though, before going, what Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett said about Marjorie Taylor Greene, which is Marjorie Taylor Greene's behavior conduct policies is what got us into this mess in the first place. Here's Congresswoman Crockett. Let's play it.
Yeah, hell may have frozen over because we are agreeing more than we're not. But I will tell you that while there is a new Marjorie, as some people have said, I do want to give people an opportunity to do their research. And the reality is that the big ugly bill, it only passed with 1 vote. And if one more Republican would have defected, which we had maybe 2 Republicans that defected, if we would have just had 1 more, then we would not be talking about higher insurance premiums. Marjorie Taylor Greene voted for this. Point blank, period. Her constituents were the ones that were on the receiving end of this. In fact, I'm sure that we can find tape in committee of me going down and talking about how many people in their Republican districts were going to lose healthcare, how many children were going to lose healthcare because of that bill. Now, maybe she didn't care about those on Medicaid and Medicare, and Democrats spent a lot of time talking about the fact that 15 to 17 million were going to lose their healthcare, but they didn't fully understand, I guess, that when you remove $1 trillion from the healthcare ecosystem, everybody else has to pay in. Also, that the top 1%ers can keep more money in their pockets. At the same time that we've not raised the minimum wage, we're seeing record-breaking profits from those at the top. We know that there are talks about Elon becoming the first trillionaire that we've ever seen in the world. So you tell me if I am feeling so sad for Marjorie or buying into this, because I don't understand why she didn't do the right thing when she had a chance. So there's 2 issues that we have going on. The big ugly bill is what caused our insurance premiums to go up. But in addition to that, Republicans have decided to kick people while they're down. So if you are on the marketplace, if that's where you get your health care, then that tax subsidy is set to expire at the same time that they made the tax cuts permanent for those at the top. And they have decided they don't want to talk about giving them subsidies. So while your insurance may go from, say, $200 a month to, say, $1,000 a month, but if you are on the marketplace, you are going to get, say, $250 credit a month. Now they're saying, we also want to take that away.
There you have it, folks. I'd love to hear your thoughts here about what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. But that's, I guess Marjorie Taylor Greene's no longer MAGA. Thanks for watching.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.